Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. Today we will be discussing the Delphi murders. Still so many unknowns surrounding this case. What really happened to Abby and Libby that day? If Richard Allen is responsible for this horrible crime, what could have possibly led to this? Are we dealing with an opportunistic lone wolf? Or were those poor girls lured and targeted? Today I'm going to lay out some factual information and ask some questions, and hopefully together we'll find some answers. Okay, here are some of the reasons I think this crime could be premeditated. It's my understanding the killer arrived around 1:30, backed his vehicle into the CPS building, according to one witness, and I quote, as if to conceal their plates. I also find it very interesting that the very moment that the bridge guy arrives at the trails is right around the same time the girls leave home heading towards the trails. So the bridge guy gets there at 1:30 and the girls leave home heading to the trails at 1:30. Do you think that's a coincidence? Let me know in the comments. We now know after reading the probable cause affidavit for the search warrant of Richard Allen's home that the bridge guy passed 4 potential targets, 3 teen girls and 1 adult female. And we also learned from these witnesses that he was walking with purpose, kind of creepy, someone had a bad day. Now, one thing that I think we can all agree on is that the bridge guy is overdressed. If you compare what he's wearing to what Abby's wearing, it's just completely different. And the witnesses also report that he was overdressed, multiple layers, jacket over a hoodie with the hood up. Just didn't seem appropriate for the weather that day. So now we have the bridge guy, according to witnesses, heading to the high bridge, walking with purpose. We also have at this very moment Abby and Libby driving towards the Monon High Bridge Trail to get to the high bridge. That is also their purpose. Shortly before the girls arrive at the trails, the bridge guy can be seen standing on the bridge, according to one witness. Now, it's my understanding it takes about 10 minutes to walk from the CPS building to the high bridge if you're walking, keeping a quick and steady pace. If this bridge guy was planning to lure these girls to that bridge, possibly even to cross it, and eventually to end up across the creek or somewhere down on that south end, I think the first thing he would do would take a few steps out on that bridge and get a good look. See who's watching, see who's around, maybe even waiting, or maybe even communicating with somebody who may be down below or even on the other side of the bridge. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. When the Delphi suspect arrived at the Monon High Bridge Trail that day, he beelined it to the Monon High Bridge. Now, when the girls arrived, they did the very same thing. They went directly to the bridge. The Delphi suspect was only on the trail for 15 minutes before the girls were dropped off. That is just enough time to park and beat them to the bridge. The girls were dropped off at 1:45, and it's about a 5-minute walk to the bridge from the Mears lot. So that would make it about 1:50 to 1:55 when the girls first stepped foot on that bridge. Where was the killer? Was he stepping off the bridge and back onto the trails as the girls approached? Was he lurking in the woods and watching through the trees? Between 1:50 and 2:07, Abby and Libby snapped 2 photos from the north side of the bridge as they crossed the bridge, making their way to the south end. The last photo taken by Libby was time-stamped at 2:07, and the video she took of her killer was time-stamped at 2:13. A lot of timing coincidences. When the killer arrives and when the girls left home, to when Libby took a photo of Abby and when the killer approaches them on the bridge. This tells me the killer may have had access to Libby's Snapchat. The photo that Libby took of Abby and uploaded to Snapchat could very well have been a trigger and a signal to their killers that his targets were now in position and exactly where he wanted them to be. 6 minutes after Libby took that photo of Abby, the bridge guy was not only behind them, but they were now much further across the bridge. Do you think that is a coincidence? Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Why were Abby and Libby so persistent to get to the trails that day? They knew their friends were leaving and that they would be gone by the time they got there. Prior to this heinous event, Libby told friends that she was making plans to meet a 19-year-old boy. Shortly before the crime, Libby asked her friend for help, stating that she was being harassed online by some guy. Shortly after Abby and Libby went missing, Libby's big sister began reaching out to anybody she could find communicating with Libby on social media. According to investigators, one of the people she messaged was a profile by the name of Anthony Schatz. Anthony Schatz was a catfish profile created by convicted online predator Keegan Kline. Keegan Kline has stated on multiple occasions his father had something to do with the murders of Abby and Libby, and that he was using the Anthony Schatz profile on a regular basis. Keegan stated in court they showed him proof that the Anthony Schatz account was trying to meet someone in Logansport. Keegan Kline nor his father have been officially named as suspects by investigators. However, the prosecutor in the case believes others were involved. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Where does Richard Allen tie in? If you buy into the possibility that Abby and Libby were targeted and lured to that bridge, making this a premeditated, cold-blooded, planned crime, the only question left is how does Richard Allen tie in? If you use facts, and only the facts, known in this case, we have a lone wolf on our hands. But it's the unknown facts that may be the biggest part to this mystery, and it's the unknown that'll get you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.